Okay, so example 11, page 9, a lot of work we have to do here. So if you FOIL this out, it is actually kind of complicated to get here to a fraction. So a lot of times you want to start with a fraction. So this is something that you guys haven't seen before, which is why I want to show you. What we're going to do is we're going to divide everything by cosine. So this is 1 over the cosine of theta minus sine over cosine. And because we're doing this to everything, it's equal. Okay, so we're going to divide by cosine theta. Okay, so the first thing I notice here is this is a reciprocal of secant, and then also using the quotient identity I have tangent, but the problem is they're not the same identity, so you have to do this in 2 steps. So I'll use the reciprocal ID here, and then in my next step I'll use the quotient identity and replace those. So in the first step I've got the secant of theta minus sine over cosine. You cannot combine identities, so you have to do it all in different steps. Okay, because you have to be able to list the identity here. So this one was the reciprocal identity that I used. Then in the third step, I'm going to use the quotient identity here. So you've got secant theta minus tangent theta over secant theta plus tangent theta. And I can do these two because it's the same ID. Okay? So now, if I multiply by the conjugate of the denominator, okay, that hopefully is going to get me somewhere. So when I multiply by the conjugate of the denominator, I have secant theta minus tangent theta. This is my original. The conjugate of the denominator is secant theta minus tangent theta over itself. So I'm multiplying by conjugate. Okay? So then when I do that, these are the same. This is secant theta minus tangent theta squared. This is a difference of squares, so this becomes secant squared theta minus tangent squared theta. Secant squared theta minus... Is this a Pythagorean identity? I think it is. So now, when I rewrite this, okay, so here, this was just a simplify from here to here. This is secant theta minus tangent theta is equal to, squared, is equal to because of the Pythagorean identity. So here I multiplied the 2, but I didn't FOIL it out. When I FOILed these two, I ended up with this. This actually is 1 from the hexagon, which is why this went away, and that was my reason right here.